Here we go. Here we go.
Today, we're going to be talking about my all-time favorite show, Hey Arnold, a show you will definitely see on this channel many more times to come. Whether you're in the mood to watch a show that'll make you cry, laugh, or maybe you just enjoy a good scare like me, well, Hey Arnold has you covered. Whether it's a headless cabbie or a ghost bride, this show is not afraid to give you a fright. And that's why today, we're going to be taking a look back at one of my all-time favorites, The Haunted Train. This episode follows Arnold, Gerald, and Helga as they attempt to find Old Engine 25, also known as the Haunted Train. The train appears once a year at an abandoned train station, and as luck would have it, the once a year is today. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. The episode begins with Arnold and Gerald complaining to Grandpa that they're bored and have nothing to do. So Grandpa tells them the story of when he used to work at the railroad and when he first heard of the legend of the haunted train.
40 years ago, Old Engine 25 was heading for the station when the engineer went mad and drove his train off the tracks. Some say he drove it straight to...
He tells the kids he drove the train straight down to the fiery underworld, which I could only imagine is the Nickelodeon way of saying he went straight to hell. He says every year on the anniversary of its last ride, the train comes back to the old station and picks up unknowing passengers.
These unsuspecting passengers are drawn onto the train by a blinding white light. It hypnotizes them. Then a strong smell overpowers them. Some say it smells like rotten eggs, but I'll tell you what it is. It's the smell of...
Socks?
No, fire and brimstone.
He continues by saying the passengers start to hear horrible music and that right after they enter the zone of darkness. He finishes by telling the kids that today's the 40th anniversary and he would hate to be at the old train station tonight.
The one on 53rd past Livingston. You know, next to the tire shop there.
I believe we're in there.
Well, so much for being bored.
Arnold and Gerald are talking about if they think the story is real, and Helga butts in and says that she doesn't believe a word of it. Arnold tells Helga that she's just scared and that she should meet them at the old train station tonight. Fast forward and we see them all sneaking into the old abandoned train station.
Yup! No train, let's go! Not so fast. We have to wait longer than 30 seconds.
The clock strikes midnight and the three are still waiting for the train to appear. Helga starts to give up, but before she can leave, we hear a train in the distance. The ground begins to shake and we see a black train with the number 25 on the front pull into the station. The bright white light that Grandpa told them about appears and they get pulled onto the train. As they turn to get off the train, the doors slam and they start to smell a foul odor.
Rotten eggs! It smells like rotten eggs! It's one of the signs! Do you hear what I hear? I mean that horrible ear-splitting impossible inhuman music?
The lights go out and a shadowy figure is seen walking towards them. We start to hear a strange breathing and yeah, it's just Brainy.
Huh? Brady, what are you doing here?
I don't know.
They just yeet Brainy off the train, but then all of a sudden, we start to see fire out of the train windows. Arnold grabs a water hose, and I guess he thinks he's gonna put out all of the fire of the underworld. But I mean, I guess if there was a water hose and I was in that situation, and I was desperate, I'd probably do the same thing, so I don't completely blame him. The door opens, and we see a shadowy figure of a man in front of the fire. Arnold begins to spray the hose, but it turns out it's just a worker. A man comes in and tells the kids they're not supposed to be at the steel mill, and they shouldn't be on this train. The kids explain they thought the train was haunted, and clearly this isn't this man's first time dealing with this because he just face palms and says this.
Haunted? Oh no, not that story again. This train is for relief workers.
What about the smell?
Girlie, have you ever smelled a steel mill? It's the sulfur. Smells like rotten eggs, don't it?
And the lights.
Lights? The lights in this car are always going on and off.
They accept that every strange thing that happened from Grandpa's story must have just been a weird coincidence, and they leave. Grandpa picks them up from the train station.
There is no haunted train.
Well, now I didn't say that.
And then we see Brainy sitting on a fence while watching Engine 25 pass by.
Sometimes late at night, you can hear the whistle wail.
And that's The Haunted Train. I don't know exactly what it is, but the ending of this episode gives me the chills every single time I watch it. I mean, to this day, as a full-grown adult, I still feel super uneasy when I hear that music start to play, but honestly, I love it. The eerie tunnels coupled with the haunting background music create a genuinely chilling experience, and this episode put it together perfectly. But I do find it a bit odd that Grandpa would want Arnold to go down to the train station at like midnight. Like, that seems super dangerous. And also, like, what are the odds of all of these things happening from Grandpa's story? The light, the smell, the music. The only thing I can think of is maybe he really did used to work at the train station and he was super familiar with everything that goes on there. Or maybe he was buddies with the people that work there, so that's why he knows about the music and the smell. Or maybe he's actually seen the haunted train. I don't know, just some theories. Anyway, this episode is definitely one of the most disturbing of the Hey Arnold episodes, but do you think there's a more disturbing one? Let me know, and maybe I can do a video on that episode too. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe to keep up with the next video, but that's it for me now. Until next time, peace.